All right, so first question is how do we solve? We have to distribute. So we're going to get 6x minus 2 plus 1 equals 2x minus 3. Combining like terms, we'll recognize that this and this are like terms, so we'll go ahead and combine those together. We'll get 6x minus 1 equals 2x minus 3. Distribute. 6x minus 1 equals 2x minus 6. Now, I tend to move the smaller letter first, so I'll subtract 2x, I'll get 4x minus 1 equals negative 6. Add 1, 4x equals negative 5. Divide by 4, x is equal to negative 5 fourths. Okay. Any questions on that? Yep. Yeah, you divide by a negative because it's on the other side. Yeah. All right. Here, I would multiply 3 by 6. I would multiply each piece by 6. That is your common denominator. And in doing so, we can get rid of the fractions. Anytime you have an equal to, you can do that. That's the major thing there. And then again, always divide first, multiply second. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3. 6 goes into 6 one time. Okay. Now from here, we'll distribute to 4. We're going to get 4x minus 8 equals 3x plus 1. Subtract 3x, x minus 8 equals 1. Add 8, x is equal to 9. We okay on that? Straight? Let us pause here for a message from our sponsor. I hope you enjoyed that chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. That'll be worth a free sandwich or something, I think. Common denominator, what is this? 6. So we're going to go 6. JK. We're going to go 6. 6 here, very important. 6. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 goes into 6 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3, so that's just 3x. And then the number one thing I see people do when they want to clear the fractions, they tend to forget to multiply the 5 by 6. And I think they don't do it because they go like this. Well, 5 ain't a problem. I'm leaving that alone. No, can't do that. So 6 times 5 is 30. X minus 30 equals 4x minus 30. And notice that I always tell you to move the letters first. You notice that? I say if you move the numbers first, you can get yourself into a problem. Here's a classic example of where you get yourself into a problem. If you move the number first, you end up getting here, which is 3x equals 4x. And a lot of people get themselves into a corner right there. Okay, for no good reason, that you just paint yourself into a really bad corner there. Always move the number first, and you tend to avoid that corner. If you just move the number first, you can tend to avoid that issue. So we're going to subtract 3x, subtract 3x, negative 30 equals x minus 30. Add 30, add 30, 0 is equal to x. Okay. Any questions on that? Sorry, partner. We'll see if we can bring it up for you a little bit. Yeah. For the people in the back, I sometimes forget that you don't always see the bottom of the screen when you're looking through people's heads. So just give me a nod or something. I'll make sure I get it moved back up for you. Okay. What's the common denominator? 12. Common denominator in this case is 12. So we're going to go 12, 12, 12. If you got this one right, give yourself a couple stars and maybe even a few happy faces. Okay? This is a hard one. All right? I'll tell you why it's difficult. Most everybody knows to multiply through by 12. It's the next step that gets you. 4 goes into 12 3 times. And I would write it out. 3x plus 2. Now, some of y'all did not write that out. You just went ahead and wrote down 3x plus 6 like your hot stuff. I stayed at Holiday Inn Express last night. Don't mess with me. All right? We'll see how you did. 3 goes into 12 how many times? Write it out. Minus 4x plus 1. 6 goes into 12 2 times. 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. The reason I don't want you distributing up here without writing down this step, there's a reason for it. And it's because if you do distribute, you get 3x plus 6, you get 4x plus 4. And what I see a lot of people do is they go like this, minus 4x plus 4. If you did that, what I need you to do is find the very largest eraser you can find and go like this. Because you're wrong. What should you have? 3x plus 6 minus 4x minus 4. And it is right there that the biggest mistake happens. I see a lot of people who put plus 4 right there, not minus 4. It messes up the entire problem. And in fact, the only way to get it right if you do that is to screw up again and hopefully somehow those two mess ups cancel each other out. Because I don't care what your mom says. Sometimes 2 wrongs does make it right. Okay? Just wanted to undo one line, and then it the whole thing was gone. We're going to leave that error right there because we really didn't want to go away. Negative 10. This way. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now from here, combine like terms. 3x minus 4x are the same, so we can bring those together. Flower power. 6 minus 4 is the same. We can bring those together. Negative x negative x minus 2 equals negative 10. I'm sorry. Negative x plus 2 equals negative 10. Subtract 2. Subtract 2, subtract 2. Negative x equals negative 12. X equals 12. And that's your final answer. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Let me just repeat it for people who are listening at home. Okay? There's a really smart person in the back there who said, is using 24 the same thing as using 12? And the answer is absolutely. Do you know why? Because 24 is also a common denominator of those two. Okay? So you could use 12, you could use 24. Not to complicate the issue, but you could use 72 as well. Okay, and people are going like this, well, why in the hell would you want to do that? I don't know, I'm just saying you could. Okay, any number that all three of these will go into, and 6 goes into 24, 3 goes into 24, 4 goes into 24, any of them that all of them will go into is a sufficient number, other than 0. You're welcome. Great question, good observation. You're in the lead for the best question, best answer today. It's a very prestigious award. Okay. Any questions on that? All right, let's move on to, this would have been section 3.2 from last time, where we were finding the X and Y-intercepts. Now, some of you are joining us with the show already in progress. You missed the first couple days. It's no issue. You just don't quite realize how awesome I am yet, but you'll figure it out by the end of the day. Get out of town. That's insane. For those of you that didn't hear all that, we have the finest computer system in the world. It allows students to just sign up and take classes, and we just kind of lie to them about when they actually start. Next semester, we lie to you about where they actually are. We meet at Denny's next year. All right. How do you find the X and Y intercepts? You plug in X is 0, you plug in Y is 0. That was the gist of what we talked about yesterday. Okay, at the end of class yesterday, that was where we were at. Plugging in X is 0, solving for Y. Plugging in Y is 0, solving for X. So for the first one, we're going to plug in X is 0. So we're going to get 2 times 0 plus 7Y equals 12. And then we solve. So Y is equal to 12 sevenths. So for this one, you get Y is 12 sevenths. That's your Y-intercept. To get the X-intercept, you plug in Y is 0, so you got 2X plus 7 times 0 equals 12. So 2X equals 12, and that gives us an X-intercept of 6. So we have a Y-intercept of 0, 12 sevenths. We have an X-intercept of 6, 0. Questions on that? Yes? Good question. The question is, on a test, do you have to write it as an ordered pair? The answer is, I don't really care. Okay. I get so happy when I see 6 down there somewhere that I'm just like, yay. Get to give somebody credit. Okay. Understand that a check for me looks like this. That's my check. When you see it, when you see your test, if you see this, you know you got a check. An X looks like this. An X takes twice as much work. I would just as soon give X or checks because, you know, cuts my workload in half. So I'm happy when I can give you a check. No. I don't even want to repeat that question. Just know it was bad. Bad question. Bad question. Okay. The question was, do I give partial credit? And I hate saying it on tape because now it's going to be out there for the world to hear. I'll never get anybody to sign up for my class. No, I do not give partial credit. It's a good thing to know. I ask every semester. It's okay. I feel like when I say it, I'm like a bad person. You know what I mean? It's like, do you give Christmas presents? No. How can you not give Christmas presents? I think it's a Hallmark holiday. Okay, so I feel bad when you ask me and I say no because I feel like a jerk. But no, I don't. But no, I love you. And that makes up for it. All right, X and Y intercepts. Next one, here we go. For this one, so plugging in X is 0, Y equals 4 times 0 plus 8. That's Y equals 8. So your Y-intercept is 0, 8. Plugging in X is 0, plugging in Y is 0, solving for X. Here you got to be careful. I see more people than I want to see go like this, without ever moving the 8 to the other side. Now, some of you are going like this. Why would you do that? Because it makes sense at the moment. Don't ever act like you haven't done something that at the time made sense. When you thought about it later, you're like, that wasn't too good. Subtract the 8. Subtract the 8. Negative 8 equals 4x. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X is negative 2. So for this one, you have the x-intercept is negative 2, 0. The y-intercept is 0, 8. Okay. For the next one, for this one, plugging in x is 0. So 3y equals negative 2/3 times 0 plus 5. So 3y equals 5. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals 5/3. To find the x-intercept, you plug in y is 0. 3 times 0 equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Okay. Zero equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Subtract 5, subtract 5. Negative 5 equals negative 2/3 x. I'm going to do this in 2 steps. You could multiply by 3/2 and be done. I'm going to multiply by 3 to clear the fraction. Negative 15 equals negative 2x. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. X is equal to 15/2. Bless me. Was there a question on that? Yeah. I'm assuming it's just the x-intercept. Is that right? What we're solving for x? So once you plug in y is 0, you're going to get down to 0 equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. So you're going to get here, 0 equals negative 2/3 x plus 5. Now the question is, how do you go about solving that? One thing you could do, and it's not wrong if you do it this way, is simply multiply everybody by 3 and clear the fraction the way we did earlier. Remember doing that? And then I would say, well, that's just 0 equals negative 2x plus 15. And that's probably not a bad way to do it. It might be a good way to do it, actually. Because from here, you can just simply solve, you got to move one or the other. Subtract 15, subtract 15. Negative 15 equals negative 2x. Divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. X is 15/2. Okay. What some of you may have elected to do is to go like this. 0 equals negative 2/3 x plus, what was it, 5? You could subtract 5, right? Negative 5 equals negative 2/3 x. And some of you will have multiplied both sides by negative 3/2 using the reciprocal. Same concept. Okay? It's the same concept. However you go about doing it, you should still get 15/2. Okay? Everything I say in life, in class, everywhere I ever am, it's buffet style. Okay? What I mean by a buffet style is, if you've ever been to a buffet, most of them aren't worth anything, but if you've ever been to one, you don't take everything on the buffet. You just take the parts you want. Okay? So, take what I do buffet style. Okay? Our last one, 3y plus 7 equals 10. Now, I will tell you that I've done this on a test before where I've put down a question similar to that. Not that one, but the numbers change. And had a guy come up to me and go, Mr. Dreyer, small problem. I said, what's that? And he said, well, you forgot to put the X right here, but I went ahead and did it for you. Okay. I love you guys a lot. Don't ever correct me. I'm just kidding. You can correct me anytime because there's a chance I'm wrong. On the test, there's a good chance the problem is as it's designed. Okay? I did not put an X there for a reason. Okay? So for those of you that are going like this, he forgot an X. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay? How do you solve? Subtract 7, subtract 7. 3y equals 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals 1. Okay? I didn't forget the x. I didn't want it to be there. Why? Because it's a horizontal line. Y equals 1 to horizontal line, right? Looks like this. There's 1. What's the x-intercept? What's the y-intercept? The x-intercept is none, and the y-intercept is 0, 1. Okay. Any questions on that? No, ma'am. It wouldn't be an x. Somebody asked me one time, it was a very good observation. Somebody said, so let me get this straight. If there's no x in the equation, does that mean there can be no x-intercept? And the answer is basically yes. I mean, not always. Okay, it could be y equals 0, and then it's a horizontal line going through the origin. But as long as it's not that, then yes. If it doesn't have an x, then there is no x-intercept. Why? Well, because you couldn't solve for x. If you can't solve for x because it's not there, then it must not exist.